Happy spring and welcome back to season 2 of the Finger Lakes Golfer Podcast on FingerLakes1.tv and YouTube. This is episode 17, recorded live on Monday evening, April 6th, 2015. I'm your host, Jim Sinacropi, and once again, I'm joined in the studio by my co-host, the Big Easy, Bob LaPrade. Bob, welcome back.
Howdy, Jim.
Now, it's not quite golf season yet, right? But
No.
It's close.
Yep.
It's close.
You can smell it.
Today, Monday, was a beautiful day here in upstate New York with temperatures pushing close to 60. Rain in the forecast this week, but this time of year, what you really need is just a stretch of 4 or 5 days, 55 to 70 degrees, no rain, and boom, we're playing golf.
Yep,
So we'll wait. It's been a long winter, longer than most.
for sure.
Got a good show this week on tap. We're going to preview the Masters, which gets underway Thursday. We have a lot of local golf news. We'll reveal the 2015 New York State Golf Association Championship slate. Bob's pick of the week, a swing analysis tool he's worked with over the winter.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Our Zen tip of the week. And the Finger Lakes Dream 18 not coming back this year. We did it. The Dream 18, we did 18 holes.
It's done.
If we did it again, it would just be like a second rate 18.
Yep.
Not a Dream 18. So, right off the bat, Bob, the season's coming, like we talked about. But what are you doing right now to get ready? Well, you're doing a lot more than me, which is maybe a little scary for me, but you're doing all sorts of stuff. You've been taking lessons, you've been hitting balls in your garage multiple times a week.
Yep.
And how's it going? You must be excited.
It's going good, but you really can't tell what's all that work's going to be till you actually hit a ball outside and see what's going on. I think one of the biggest things you could do before the season is stretch. Really, I mean, sometimes, over the winter, the bones and the muscles kind of tighten up and get creaky. So stretching is, I think, pretty important.
Yeah, usually it's a shock to the system when you get out there in the spring, and the first couple shots you hit, they're painful.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, stretch. It's a good tip. I've really done nothing at all. And I expect to have a good year. I think you really need to prepare. I think you're probably gonna just slide right by me this year and leave me in the dust.
Well, I don't know. We know this. You can work hard at this game, and sometimes it'll sneak up on you. The minute you think you have it whooped, you don't.
Yeah, well, good time of year to maybe get the clubs in shape, take some regripping.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get a new set of golf shoes.
Yep. Get the 2014 mud out of the grooves and.
Yeah. Well, they're not in there for you. You've been beating balls. You might need a new set of irons. Are they concave yet?
No. I haven't been hitting that many, but what I have been working on different things. So, my 6-iron the grip definitely needs to be changed on that. I can tell you that. But I actually ordered some grips last week, so hopefully they'll be in soon.
And you change them yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And was it a vice grip?
Oh, I have one of those little grip stations that you can get like at Golfsmith or any of the club making websites.
Right. Takes a little longer maybe than a vice grip, but gets the job done.
Yep.
Yeah, good time to change the grips. A good time to maybe putt around a little bit in the carpet, or just go outside in the yard maybe and chip a little bit if you got some dry spots in the yard. It's still pretty soggy out there.
Yeah, it is.
But I'll tell you one place it's not soggy, Bob, and that would be Augusta, Georgia, where they're getting ready now for the Masters.
Yep.
And if you're not ready to get out there on the course and play golf, watch the Masters for 4 days, and you will be. It's like the perfect turn from winter to spring. And interesting this year because Tiger's coming back, so I guess we could talk about that. But I think a bigger story is you got world number one Rory McIlroy going for the career Grand Slam, and he's also, what a lot of people don't know is he's won the last two majors, so he could win three in a row.
Right.
Which would then put him one tournament away at the U.S. Open from getting the Tiger Slam.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he'll be tough to beat. I figure he'll be in the mix on Sunday.
I agree.
Then you have another wrinkle to the Masters this year is you have two-time winner Ben Crenshaw. He's announced this is going to be his last Masters. He'll also have longtime caddy Carl Jackson on the bag. I mean, he was the guy. I remember when Crenshaw last won. It was the day after Harvey Penick passed away, or a few days after, 1995, and Crenshaw almost fell over with emotion, and his caddy kind of caught him. That was Carl Jackson. That was 95, which was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a nice little wrinkle to the Masters. It'll show a lot of Ben Crenshaw.
Right.
Hopefully he can make the cut. Obviously that would be fantastic. But if not, that's when he comes home on Friday, down 18. That'll be a great scene. He was actually in contention a few years ago. Going into Sunday.
Yep.
So you never know. Never know if that putter gets hot.
Right.
But of course, everybody wants to talk about Tiger because he's back. Well, I mean, what do you
Mm-hmm.
think of Tiger's chances, Bob?
I don't even think it's worth talking about. I mean, he's got to prove himself. He's got to. I don't know what's going on with that guy, to be honest with you. So, I mean, he's not even on my radar as far as someone who's in contention this week. If he proves me wrong, great. It makes for great golf. Makes it fun to watch. But I wouldn't be laying any money on him. That's for sure.
Yeah, and his short game's been so incredibly bad.
Mm-hmm.
So far this year, like not even close to an average PGA Tour player, not even close to a terrible PGA Tour player, like worse than the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to take that to Augusta? I mean, that's not the place. And, of course, his putting is not what it used to be. And I don't know what he thinks is magically going to happen, but I think what will happen is once he gets out there and, if you're not having 100% confidence in those little tight chip shots or little flop wedges or anything around the greens there, or not confident with the putter, then you got zero chance.
Right.
So he hasn't even played in any competition since the last time he played. And, you know what I really predict? Somewhere in the first two rounds, he's going to tweak his back or something. Can you imagine if he did that? I mean, would it be time for people to really start laying on him? Nobody gets hurt that much. Is Tiger? I mean, I don't even think Tiger gets hurt. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he plays bad and then he, blames it on something and walks off the course.
Mm-hmm. So you're thinking he doesn't make the cut?
No, I don't think he makes the cut. I don't even think it's close. But, of course, anything can happen out there. The guy's won it before.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not the same guy.
Right, yeah, I agree.
Not even close.
Nope.
So, some other guys I think that you got to look at, and I'll save my pick for last and your pick. But maybe one of these guys I've got jotted down here. But got to like Oosthuizen's chances. Louis Oosthuizen. Won it before. Dominant game. You figure he'll be in contention. Jordan Spieth's the guy I think a lot of people are saying this might be his time. The young star, one of the best players on tour. He was in contention last year and really didn't play good coming down the stretch. And then Bubba Watson, of course. The course is perfectly suited to him. Plays the high fade. He's won 2 green jackets, so you figure he might be in contention. But my pick, Bob, is Jimmy Walker.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember last year in his first Masters, he finished in 8th place. He's a great putter. His long irons, he hits nice and high, so you can see him dropping them into some of those par 5s. And he's got a nice demeanor for it, I think. He's an under-the-radar guy. Jimmy Walker.
Mm-hmm. He putted well this weekend, too.
J.B. Holmes won it in Houston, though.
Right, yeah.
I'm not picking J.B. Holmes. I'm picking Jimmy Walker.
Gotcha.
Who's your pick?
Well, there's 3 that I like. Jordan Spieth, Bubba Watson, of course, and Rory. I'm going to go out on a limb and pick Bubba to repeat.
Yeah, hey, why not?
He loves it there. He plays well, and he hits that high ball as well.
Yeah, really high, really long.
Mm-hmm.
Which hitting it long didn't used to be a requirement at Augusta, but apparently nowadays, since they lengthen the course, it is big and makes it tougher for a guy like Ben Crenshaw,
Mm-hmm.
as if it wasn't tough enough already.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited. Thursday, par 3 challenge on Wednesday. It's great. The music, the CBS crew.
Yep. There was coverage today, by the way. So
yeah, it was
the range. You can watch them hit on the range.
Yeah, putting green all over the place. They were showing people. Yeah. But hopefully, maybe we can get down to maybe go down to the club on Sunday and watch the final round.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Get some people down there. Get some chicken wings going because we play at the Seneca Falls Country Club and open for business. There were some guys down there walking it.
Mm-hmm.
Today. I had to go down for a memorial service for Ed Boudreaux Sr., longtime member.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people there. It didn't feel good to be at a memorial service, but being at the club with some people out there walking the course golfing and a bunch of people in the facility, it just kind of felt like, all right, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to play some golf. And so we play Wednesdays and Sunday mornings together, not always in the same group, but in the same extended group. Mm-hmm. And I'm at the point where, you know what, if it's not raining Wednesday and it's above 50, I'm there. It's time.
Right. Yep.
Should also mention real quick, Bob, Seneca Falls Country Club offering a special deal for new members. $1,200 plus tax, includes golf and cart. It's the best deal in local golf, I tell you.
I agree.
So I got Jimmy Walker, you got Bubba Watson. Earlier today, the Web Dog on his show picked Adam Scott. There's nothing harder than picking a winner in golf.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a basketball game where you got a 50-50 shot.
Right. Yep.
But that'll be more impressive when my Jimmy Walker pick comes in.
Yeah, it would be impressive.
So we're back for season 2 here on FingerLakes1.tv. Got a lot of surprises this year. Hoping to have a lot of guests. Hoping to get some on-course footage that we'll play. Maybe some video lessons involving some PGA pros in the area. A lot on tap. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the red button below if you're watching now on YouTube. We're also on iTunes and Stitcher.com, audio-only version. You can watch or listen on the FingerLakes1.com app that you can download for free at the Android or Apple store. And then once you're there, you can watch us on FingerLakes1 TV. You can watch us or listen to us on the Finger Lakes Radio tab when we're live, or listen to us on demand on the podcast tab. So it's a great app to have, and it's free.
Nice.
The best deal in local apps.
I agree.
Well, time to bring back a great old segment, Bob. It's a popular segment, and it's called Bobby's Pick of the Week.
Bobby's Pick of the Week.
This week, we have the Sky Pro Golf Analyzer. Very similar to last season's analyzer, the Swing Bite 2. And what it is, it's a little device that attaches to your club. And there are distinct differences between this and the Swing Bite 2. Is one, the way it affixes to the club. It's a little bit different. It's like a clasp.
And it stays nice and snug on there for you?
Yeah, and in comparison to the Swing Bite 2, the Swing Bite 2 will move around on the shaft as you're striking golf balls. This does not, which is kind of nice. Another difference is the way you calibrate the device. So I can put this on the club in any orientation I want around the axis of the club. Mm-hmm. And then you calibrate this to the club by placing your phone on the club face itself. So it's a little bit easier to set up and a little bit more accurate, I think, through the calibration process. What's nice about it too, it'll pick up swing faults, alert that to your phone, Android or iPad, iPhone, and you can go to those different alerts and see what the fault is, read about that fault, and then most of the faults have like a little video, Michael Breed telling you how to correct that fault.
They're able to update that type of content that
I haven't seen any updates. I haven't had it that long, but I haven't seen any updates to that part of it yet. It also has what's called a groove mode. So let's say you wanted to groove your takeaway from setup to halfway back. You can groove that so that it's if you're trying to hit a specific point, or swing length is a really good example. If you wanted to only take the club back so far, you can groove that, and it'll give you feedback if you hit that margin that you set in the app every time you take a swing. So it's pretty neat. It's a nice device if you're trying to hit certain positions in your swing.
So, does this have any type of feature where you can keep it on your club for like a regular round of golf?
You could, if you wanted to just do like maybe your driver the whole round. I mean, you could sit there and attach it to your club every time you go to swing, but I would imagine it would be very irritating to your partners. Every time you go to set this up, calibrate it, and that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So, but if you wanted to just keep it on your driver, let's say, and I don't know if it's conforming by USGA rules or not.
Oh yeah, to attach something like that.
Yeah,
you're right.
I don't know if you can or not. Maybe you can, but if you were going to keep it on one club, maybe that would be okay. What's also I'd like to mention, you can put it on your putter, which is gives you pretty decent feedback on your putter, your path you're taking, and if you're hitting on a descending blow or an upright blow. So I've messed around with it a little bit on that, and it's pretty neat.
Man, you're ready. You're going to explode this year.
Yeah, that's what I say every year.
No, it sounds like you're doing some smart work, though. You're working at it, and you've been taking the lessons.
Yep.
And so it's a good approach. It's a good approach. All I've been doing is thinking about it.
Sometimes that's a good way to go about it as well.
I got to hit some balls here early when we can. But that is a pretty cool tool there, Bob. The what is it again? The Swing Pro?
Swing Pro. It's made by the same folks that do the Sky Pro stuff, the GPS devices. Yep.
Remember that thing that was a pick of the week last year that we didn't have, but we just thought it was such a cool idea? One where you put something in every single club and then it tracks you around. You should get that.
Yeah,
it's like what, $100 and something bucks?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but they've had some competitive products that have come out as well, to where you don't, in that product you had to touch the club.
The belt, yeah.
They have a competitive product now where you don't have to touch anything.
You don't do anything different.
You just keep your phone in your pocket is kind of the only stipulation, if you can live with that.
The phone in the pocket or in the cart would work?
They suggest your pocket. I don't know if the cart would work, but they highly suggest to have it in your pocket, and it knows what club you've selected and maps your whole journey across the golf course.
Well, I just think how much fun it would be to be able to accumulate that type of data.
Mm-hmm.
And but I didn't want to wear the thing on my belt.
Right.
I didn't want to tap it, especially when I was putting.
Right.
But it might be time to pull a trigger on something like that. Golf's an expensive game.
Yeah, especially in the day and age of all these different electronics that they have. They're coming out with more and more stuff that's pretty interesting.
Well, I got a lot of news this week for such an early season show in early April. But first bit of news that I'm not sure a lot of people know about is that the New York State Golf Association season doesn't even begin until April 15th. Now, what that means is you can't post your scores to the GIN system until after 4:15. Local scores anywhere in New York State. If you went out of state and their season, according to their state golf association, was open, then you could post that to the GIN system. But if you were to go play any local course here in the Finger Lakes and you went to post that score on April 14th, they wouldn't accept it.
Right.
So I'm not sure if a lot of people understand that. But and then theoretically, if you play on April 15th, then you have to post it. It's one thing with the handicap system I think a lot of people don't understand is that you're supposed to post everything. Tournaments, leagues, regular rounds, but a lot of people pick and choose what they post, I guess. And I'm guilty of that too. I hardly post anything. Sometimes I'll get on a streak where I'll post everything for, maybe a month and then I just fall off or forget. That's going to be my resolution for the new year. I'm going to start posting again. I'm a 7 handicap now, I believe, and I was a 4 at one time, 4 or 5 years ago maybe, and just in random postings over those years, I've gone down to 7.
Well, there's no excuse anymore. I mean, you got an app that you can post with.
Yeah, what do you
There's the
use?
GIN. I use the GIN app.
So straight from the source.
Yep.
I know there's a couple others. I used to use Diablo Golf.
Yeah, but GIN put a like kind of a lawsuit threaten on them.
Really?
Yep. So they had to stop.
They think they want them to post scores through whatever method that people could.
No.
Because the New York's the GIN, you still need to pay GIN the $15 a year for the GIN number,
Right.
regardless of how many apps, and you don't have to buy the GIN app. So I don't really get why they would care so much.
Well, they protect their formula, their handicap formula, which isn't very complex, but they protect it. They don't want anybody else using it.
Hey, there was some golf today in Hershey, Pennsylvania, involving some local golfers. It was the Hershey Cup, a local to Pennsylvania, but a local college schools, golf teams like St. John Fisher and University of Rochester compete in this thing along with other colleges from the Northeast. And Geneva High School grad Chris Salone was competing for St. John Fisher on the par 71, 6,653 yard track on Sunday, and today was the final round. So you can't. I mean, they had decent weather today, but can you imagine this early, even in Pennsylvania, they had to have that course in shape for this tournament.
Right.
So Salone was in 7th place after shooting an opening 79 on Sunday. Teed off at 8:45 this morning, shot 81, finished tied for 38th. But good to see him, getting out there and playing some golf on the next level. His teammates, Devin Solar and Corey Haas, finished tied for 13th. Locally for St. John Fisher golfers, Solar shot 83.71, shot 71 today. Haas shot 79.75. Jonas Scott, University of Rochester, also tied for 13th, shot 79.75 as well. So the New York State Golf Association has announced their slate. And for quite some time now, it's been out there. But I don't know if a lot of people bother to check. But I always get excited to see where these events are going to be played. And the Mid-Am's one that's in our wheelhouse that maybe we might want to try to qualify for. And soon enough, Bob, maybe the seniors.
Let's not rush it.
But here we go. Kicks off with the 5th New York State Men's Amateur and Senior Amateur 4-Ball Championship. So it's a new event, only 5 years old. A 2-man best ball event being held May 17th and 18th at Leatherstocking Golf Course. Now there's one that just about anyone, well, it's a scratch event, but if you want to just go pay the entry fee, which is usually about $100-something bucks, I think, to enter.
Yeah.
Go play Leatherstocking Golf Course in Cooperstown. Make a week or a trip out of it. I don't think it's a weekend. Then there's not many events at all until July when it really picks up. with the 86th Women's Amateur Championship, also the state Women's Mid-Am is held at the same time, July 14th through 16th at Tuscarora.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an event that was hosted last year at Ithaca. The year before was at Seneca Falls Country Club. And, it's funny, after that tournament at Seneca Falls, you got to know some of the names, and we met some of the women that played.
Right.
And so I tracked them last year, at Ithaca, and I recognized the names atop the leaderboard. So they'll be in Tuscarora, or at Tuscarora in Syracuse. The 93rd New York State Men's Amateur Championship will be held at Cayute, Turning Stone, the toughest course in the world.
Mm-hmm. It is a tough course.
So it'll be interesting to see on July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd that's the granddaddy, the Men's Am, State Men's Am. That's a pretty prestigious tournament. And that's going to be at Turning Stone. So we'll have to have Eric Lorenzetti on the show, head pro at Turning Stone, leading up to that.
Yep.
And maybe after, too, with a recap. I didn't even realize that. I want to talk to him about that and see, what his thoughts are.
Right.
And how those guys are going to do on that course, maybe how they'll set it up,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the stuff they're doing at the Turning Stone, because we played there in September last year, Bob, and it's a first-rate golfing experience, and so it's a great place. And I was surprised, too, that they'd have it at Cayute instead of one of the other two courses.
Right.
Like Atunio, I would think would be the place to have it, right?
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know if New York State Golf Association decides that or Turning Stone decides that or in some sort of conjunction, but I would have thought of the three courses, that would be the last place that they'd hold it.
Right.
The 73rd New York State Junior and Boys Amateur Championships, along with the 53rd Annual Girls Junior Amateur Championship, is going to be held August 4th and 5th at the Cedar Lake Golf Club. And then you have the 63rd New York State Women's Senior Am and Super Senior, held on August 18th and 19th at Thendara Golf Club. And then the 3rd New York State Mixed Team and Senior Mixed Team Championship, another new event. Mark Hill played in it with his daughter Lynn last year and had a lot of fun. And they were actually kind of in contention for a little while. Skinny Atlas Country Club. So there's a local, another Finger Lakes area course hosting a state championship. And that's, again, the third iteration of that event. Then you have the 59th New York State Men's Senior Am Championship and Super Senior being held September 15th, 16th, and 17th at Onondaga Golf and Country Club. So that'll be a great venue for that event. And then we wind it down, Bob, with the Mid-Am, the Men's Mid-Am, the 32nd New York State Men's Mid-Amateur Championship, September 25th, 26th, and 27th at Wolfert's Roost Country Club. And I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe Tuscarora might be a qualifying spot.
Oh, really?
For that. Let's pledge to playing that qualifier this year. Just
Sure.
I've wanted to for the past, since I've become a mid-am. Actually, probably not. I think you only got to be 25, which is kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd think it would be like 30, 35 at least to play in the mid-am. But, of course, I know Tuscarora, and, I know I could shoot a decent number on that course. It'll be fun to maybe see how it goes.
Right.
And you get that major feel at any of these events, that big-time New York State USGA type of feel. Speaking of the New York State Golf Association, they're holding a Rules of Golf seminar on Saturday, April 11th. That's this coming Saturday at Bellevue Country Club in Syracuse, and it's open to anyone interested in attending. Register at 9 a.m. Instruction begins at 9:30, concluding at noon. Instructors will cover Rule 13, ball played as it lies, and Rule 20, lifting, dropping, and placing. And also playing from a wrong place, what you do in those situations. During breaks and at the end of the seminar, time is made available for the attendees to ask questions that pertain to the rules of golf. Each person in attendance will be given a Rules of Golf book provided free of charge by the USGA. Complimentary pastries and beverages will be served at 9 a.m. Free event, free pastries,
Nice.
beverages, rule book, all at Bellevue on April 11th. Be there at 9 a.m. You can learn more at NYSGA.org. But I don't think I'm going to make it, Bob. But, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Little Rules of Golf seminar, get you going.
Absolutely.
Most people don't play by the rules. It's hard to play by the rules in golf. That's why I suppose they have rules seminars.
Knowing them all is the tough part, right?
Yeah.
And how to do it correctly. And
I've played with guys who have been such a stickler about trying to play by the rules that they make it harder on themselves by not using the rules that they could use to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting relief from certain things where they might at first glance think that they don't get relief, so they just go in there and hack it out. Sometimes the rules of golf can knowing where to drop,
Right.
which it will apparently be covered in this seminar, I think is a big thing too. I think a lot of people don't know where to drop from a golf cart path,
Mm-hmm.
for example. I think we talked about that in the show last year, but or even a lot of situations where you might get a free drop, and where you drop, you can give yourself an advantage by following the rules.
Right.
So, we like to read your holes in one on the Finger Lakes Golfer podcast. Haven't been any yet this year.
No.
Sent in.
Well, there may have been some, but we don't.
We don't know about it. They haven't been published. But send us your holes in one to Finger Lakes Golfer podcast. Contact at fingerlakes1.com. Subject line FLX Golfer. And we'll read them on the show the following week. We want to know about your aces. There's nothing more excited than a hole in one, Bob. Nobody knows that better than you with 7.
I know. I have 0.
Well, this year might be the year. I've had 2, but I haven't had one in quite some time.
Yeah.
It was the year 2000, so it was 15 years.
Wow.
And in that time, I've really discovered something called Zen Golf.
Mm-hmm.
And every week on this show, I just love to give a Zen tip of the week.
Zen tip of the week.
This week's Zen tip of the week is to do with prepping for the season. I know you've been doing a lot of actual physical practicing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My Zen tip involves just doing nothing. I find this works best when you're laying in bed before you go to sleep. Just start playing the round of golf at your local course in your mind, as if you're at the more you can feel the way the shots feel and the grass feels on your feet and the way it smells, the more you can immerse yourself into this imagination of your round, I think the more successful this technique will get you prepared for when you actually do get out on the course.
Mm-hmm.
And you should only hit good shots, not miracle shots, but you should try, as you imagine this, to just hit good shots. And if you, for some reason, feel anxiety or feel like you're going to imagine yourself a bad shot, just let it go by, hit the good shot. If you can't, accept the bad shot that you hit in your mind and then hit an incredible recovery shot in your mind.
There you go.
But you'll usually fall asleep by the 4th hole.
Oh, nice.
But the visualization, I think, can get you prepared so that when you go out there, you feel more normal about playing good golf. It's not like going out there cold, and you've kind of preconditioned yourself to have a good round.
Probably gives you practice in positive thoughts too, right?
Yeah, because when you're out there, that's how you're going to want to imagine each shot. You're going to want to imagine it as the shot you want to hit. So when you're doing this, I don't think like I say, you shouldn't imagine yourself hitting a 350-yard drive, because that's not something you normally did. But a nice 245-yard little cut shot down the left side of the first fairway.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing you can do is you should relive some of your better shots of the year before. And so, I don't know, Bob, you remember any really good shots last year?
Not off the top of my head. That's not a good thing, is it?
I remember the drive I hit in the playoff for the club championship.
Oh, yeah.
On one, that tee
Yeah.
shot.
That was a good shot.
Remember how that felt when it left the club, just knowing it was going where it was going,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only good shot I could remember. I could remember some good wedges. Last year I had a streak a couple times during the year where I was just really on with my wedges, confident from all over the place. Knew I was going to get it close enough to have a putt to make it from anywhere inside 100.
Mm-hmm.
And that would last for a week or two, and then you'd lose it a little bit. But nothing gives you more confidence in the ability to score than playing good wedges, because especially at our course at St. Falls Country Club, you're going to have probably, even if you're not playing good, you're going to have 6 or 7 opportunities to hit a wedge and get up and down for a birdie.
Right.
Whether it's the par 5s or the short par 4s like 1 and 15. If you're hitting your wedge good, you're going to have opportunity to make some birdies out there. And then it also gives you confidence to, when you get in trouble, to not get too aggressive and just punch it out, because at worst you're going to miss a makeable par putt and make a bogey.
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember hitting those wedges, and it seems so easy when you're in that groove. And then it's so frustrating when you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So I might imagine some good wedge shots. But I know a lot of people out there are saying, Jim, you're crazy. You're sitting there daydreaming about golf shots. But it's preparation for the state of mind I want to be in when I'm out there. I want positive thoughts. I want to visualize my shots. And, I want to enjoy myself out there. And by hitting good shots.
Right. Yep.
It's tough to enjoy yourself after too many bad shots, but it's close, Bob. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Dutch Hollow Country Club in Owasco has actually emailed their mailing list, and they're asking people to predict when the first round will be played at Dutch Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
And they're running some little contest there with that. But like I say, they already played at Seneca Falls.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. I saw a twosome walk-in today about maybe 2 o'clock. Make the turn from 9 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So they played 18. They may have played the first full round.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah. I wish I could have
It was a nice day, too.
been out there. It was. The report was a little soggy, not getting any roll, but nonetheless, good to be out there.
Right, yeah.
And soon we'll be out there. Enjoy the Masters this week. Hopefully, let's try to get together down there at the club on Sunday. That would be nice. Watch the final round of the Masters, and then we'll be back here next Monday to recap the Masters. Going to have more guests this year. We had a lot of guests. I want to get some more guests from other courses in terms of other pros. I've talked to some people in the off season. They've all expressed a willingness to either call in or come in to the show. So expect some more guests this year. And, hey, it's going to be a great season. Can't wait.
I agree. Should be a good time.
So remember to subscribe to the show on YouTube, on Stitcher.com, on iTunes. We'll be right there in your feed every week. We hope you had a great time hanging out with us here on episode 17 of the Finger Lakes Golfer Podcast. We'll be back live next Monday night at 9 o'clock. Until then, what is it I say at the end of every episode? Hit 'em long, not often.
Yep.
Have a good week, everybody.
Support great local content like this by becoming a patron of FingerLakes1.com. Visit patreon.com/FL1.
FingerLakes1.com. Come on and join